How's it going, guys? Tevin here, back again for another episode of Let's Play Cuphead Don't Deal with the Devil. In the last episode, we finally made it to Inkwell Isle 2, and we defeated the rest of the debtors that we had to deal with over in Isle 1. So now, I'm going to go ahead and switch out my loadout. So I have the regular shot, chaser, and super 1, because that's the only super we have right now. And, to get started off, I'm going to talk to these guys. It takes me a while to actually figure out where the fourth member is, but I'll show you guys that later on. The main thing we really want to do is defeat the bosses here, and oh my god. The first one that I start off with is my least favorite, Beppy the Clown. Oh, Beppy. Beppy gave me so much trouble in this. I literally spent probably like a good almost an hour just trying to get through him alone. So basically, in his first form, he rams you with this dang bumper car, and you see these little ducks that's on the screen. I always prioritize hitting them because if they are stationary as they're coming towards you and not spinning, they will hurt you. So always make sure you shoot them just so you can avoid getting hit by them. This little roller coaster, that's what it's called, appears in its second phase along with these dog balloons in order to attack you. You can parry the nose of the helicopter of the roller coaster, and there's a pink dog balloon that you can parry. In this particular weapon, or this particular section, I can't talk today for some reason, I decided to switch off to the chaser because the homing shots, even though they are a little bit weaker than the normal shot, having or making sure like 100% it's going to hit the boss is highly effective for me. In his third form, he will switch to riding on this weird donkey looking horse thing to start attacking you. As he comes down, if it is green, the donkey will shoot horseshoes out in a curve pattern, while if it comes out yellow, it will shoot it at you in a straight line, and then, like you just saw, the horseshoes will come down and rain down on you in a certain way. For the curved one, there are pink horseshoes, but I don't bother to try to parry them just because I wasn't that confident in like my positioning on it, so I just avoided it. As we switch into the final phase of Beppy's boss fight, he turns into a gigantic carousel. And this is honestly not that hard. It's really everything else about it. The roller coaster now picks up tremendous speed, and Beppy will now shoot out little penguins that will take up a majority of the bottom section for you, and will start throwing baseballs at you if you let them. So sometimes I'll just pop down there, take care of a few of them just so I can get rid of them, and then make sure you maneuver your way back on top before the roller coaster comes down and tries to swing at you. And it's just rinse and repeat until you're able to take down Beppy, and oop, avoid that. Surprise, I made it through there. I almost forgot about the roller coaster coming by in this final lap. And think about a few more good shots. I don't know why I didn't use my super here. There we go. I completely missed it because I was in the wrong way. So I could have finished this a lot easier, probably with both my lives still intact. But either way, we still got the Beppy. Like I said, this dude took me a while to like get his patterns down and memorize, so that's all the name of the game. Trial and error, learning the boss patterns, adjusting to it, knowing when to attack, when to defend, and just going through it in a timely manner. So with this one, I think I got a C-. A C+, that's better than I expected. So yeah, this is where the A's and B's start to drop, because I am not that good when it comes to Beppy. But now that he's done, we got his soul contract in hand to the devil's office. So now we're just one step closer to being able to take on the devil himself. This well on the right hand side will keep track of how many times you have died in both battles and in your running guns, and tell you. So far at this section, I died 48 times. So yeah, 48, keep that in mind. The number only gets higher from here. It really can only get higher from here, it doesn't drop or anything. Next boss I decided to take on, I believe... Is it Jimmy the Great? I guess it is. Alright, so Jimmy the Great. Ooh. Jimmy. I wouldn't really consider his that difficult. So this is another one of the 5 bosses I'd say can have different portions in them, depending on how you go about doing it. Now that I say it, I don't fully remember his. I know it has to do around the part to where he makes a little clone of Cuphead or Mugman, depending on who you're using, and it actually operates different. Instead of being a giant puppet, it's like a small puppet that'll like kind of chase you. For this particular part, we just want to avoid getting hit by saw blades and pretty much shoot the face of whatever column that it's on in order to progress through it until we move on to the third phase, to where he's inside the sarcophagus and he's this giant little worm thing. So with this one, you really want to pay attention to his positioning that his face is, because when he shoots out his eyeballs, they can only go so far. So if he's like close to the top, go to the bottom. If he's close to the bottom, go to the top, so you can avoid the range of the eyeballs. If he's in the middle, well, you better hope you can avoid them, because they don't really take up that much spot. For the most part, he's always either up or down. It's rare that he's like dead center in the middle, and it just comes to like better timing on your part. Once you get past that phase, we move on to the parts where he makes a clone of Cuphead, or he makes a copy of Cuphead, so he can create his own little puppet cup. His puppet cup. Oh my god, I like that. The puppet cup. Anyway, in this part, big Cuphead in this one starts shooting out little finger blasts of his own while you're trying to avoid getting hit by Jimmy's turban. And this one isn't that bad. It's really just like the weird rate of fire for his shots, because not only does he send shots coming towards you, he also makes an arc at the very tips, and it goes out and kind of like cuts off your escape in case you're trying to go like behind him. After that, we move on to the final phase where he gets serious and goes all mega mode and starts to attack you with these Illuminati looking pyramids to send out little death beams that you kind of have to avoid and make your way through without getting hit, while also avoiding the little, let's say, the hookah smoke he sends out from his gem on his turban. And, there we go. And just like that, that's it for the not so great, as we get felled by a cup. Still, the puppet cup. That's gonna be the saying of the day, the puppet cup. Anyway, Jimmy, didn't do that good on time. I was good on health, I could get all my parries, almost hit all my supers, got a double skill rate. This is probably an A. This is an A. Yes, I agree. That was a good effort on me. Go me! I heavily enjoyed that fight. You know, once you learn it. The next one, Baroness von Bonbon, I think it's her name. She was a difficult person to take on. Like, let me tell you, like, probably, she is the third hardest boss, in my opinion, on this particular aisle. Just because she has these little, like, sub-bosses you have to take down first before you can actually get to her. But thankfully, they all share one giant health bar, so it's not that bad. For a little gumball man, just stay all the way to the far left. He'll never actually come and try to touch you. Next is the little waffle dude. I always switch to the chaser and have it do the work for me while I kind of stay a good distance away, because he will fire off his, like, little squares in all directions, and I just want to make sure I'm out of his range when he does that, so I don't get hit. I prefer to be all the way to the far left and not the right, just because you see these little jelly bean soldiers coming out from the right hand side, and if you're not paying attention, one can literally just pop out of nowhere and just hit you. So that's why I like to stay to the left. Next one is the Jawbreaker. It'll only do 3 bosses, 3 little mini bosses, but there are 4 in total. The other one is like a candy corn monster that goes kind of like in a Pac-Man direction, kind of like what the Jawbreaker's doing, but instead of like, you know, curving and whatnot, the candy corn goes like straight, like left, right, up, down. It doesn't like go diagonal or anything. So once you defeat her 3 sub-bosses, then she decides she's going to take matters into her own hands and try to attack you herself by tossing her head. And I don't know how this works. She just instantly goes back into one, and you gotta avoid both the head and the castle as it sends out a giant peppermint to hurt you. And this is why the chaser comes in such good handy, because I'm able to avoid her attacks while still getting some hits in on myself, so I can defeat her relatively quickly. Even though like the chaser is kind of weaker compared to the other shots, having a guaranteed hits on the boss is a lot more effective to me, instead of just, you know, having a powered up shot, but I kind of have to like forcing myself to look dead at them in order to get my shots in. So now that we defeated Baroness von Bonbon, it opens up the other portion of the stage so we can actually get to the running gun of this level, which is annoying. I really do not like this running gun It's like the Fun House something. Is it called the Fun House? It has something fun in house in it. So look at the list. We have 3 bosses right now. We have 2 more bosses to take care of, and then 2 running guns, and then we're done. I don't have any coins. Okay, so he tells you he added an upgrade to your airplane. So now, instead of just shooting missiles, if you want to, you can shoot out little mini bombs to actually attack the boss with. And I think I used it a little bit during the next boss, but not so much. The Funfair Fever. This is actually, I don't want to say my favorite running gun. It might be my favorite running gun. It was literally this stage that really inspired this playthrough. After I saw how many times Hesh was struggling to get through it, I was like, you know what, I can beat this game before Hesh. I'm gonna play it now. I honestly got through this section relatively easily. I could have did it better if I didn't get hit with that one time, but you know, beggars can't be choosers, and I've spent a lot of time practicing this particular part just so I can get through it. For these platforms, as you can see, they have like little targets on them. As you can see, there's a ball coming through from the far right hand side. Just avoid where the balls are going to be hitting and go on the platform either above or below it so you can actually have a place to stand so you don't die. It actually has a really nice carnival little background music going into it. And as we get to the far end, we can see the cause of all those little balls being shot everywhere because of those 3 cannons. Take them out the way, got nothing else to worry about, and we just keep on moving through this carnival. And, ooh, you know what? I can never fully deal with that musician, so I just always try to avoid him as much as possible. I think I defeated him, but I'm not fully sure. This little, I don't really know, I don't remember what this game is actually officially called, but it's like something duck shot, I think. I don't remember. My memory's not too good, guys. Let me tell you, I can't remember everything. So as we're getting closer toward the end, they'll let you know because we're on this little snack section along the roller coaster, and this is where I struggled the most. This is where I struggled a good bit too, because of this condiments being shot everywhere, as well as these platforms going up and down with no set pattern, because it can always change. Something else you can do is stand on the platform that jumping pretzel is on. You can't get too close to it, but if you get an inch on to like the front hand part of it, you can just sneak on by there and get a good bit of space to land without him actually hurting you. As we get to the end, we see who's shooting the condiments, and it was this jolly little hot dog. But now, it's time for the hot dog to perish, and I wasted this super, because I didn't really need to. I beat him right before it. But thankfully, I was able to get through it with just 1 HP left, so we can make it through here. And with that, that's probably going to be all we have time for in today's videos. So I like to keep these videos short just because, you know, I don't want you guys to like suffer through too much stuff all at once. We got a bit of time. Let's just take our time to get there. So, as always, if you guys like the video, give a video a like, leave a comment. All those good things I'm going to say on my channel, now on this channel. So, until then, I'll see you guys in the next episode. Let's play Cuphead.